Podcast. Let's get it. Hello. Hi.
Who made that beat?
I don't know. I just know one of the homies came over and just, you know what I'm saying, started
Eric
playing.
did that?
Nah, Eric didn't do that. I wish.
Okay, because I was going to say, my undergrad days, I used to really freestyle, so I was feeling that.
Don't make me put on the instrumental
Please
at the end of this.
I have retired. It's something I definitely want to get back into, like writing and poetry, but I need that fire sparked again.
You know, yeah. Well, you know what? We probably can get that popping, right after this.
I've been in a creative funk for like
Please don't
3
make me do an
years.
instrumental before.
Don't, because I'm going to let it play.
Don't. All right, what was that?
Yeah, edit that out. I'm going to let you slide.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Green Light Podcast. I'm your host, Cam Green, and this is the Green Light. So, green light. You get the gist. You got the gist. I hope you did. If you didn't, no. But we have my, lovely co-host right next to me, and it's my homie, my player, my partner, Ella Mae Jenkins, aka Brooke G, Brookie Grady, Brookie Jeffrey.
I got a lot of names now.
You know what I'm saying? What was your poet name?
Brooke G. Brooke G from the G.
Lord have mercy. Brooke G from the G.
That was my thing.
From Gary, Indiana.
Yes, I remember being at PB. I had this poem, 2 poems specifically. My Black Man poem.
My Black Man.
Yes, a lot of people knew that. And I had this poem, and it was called My Vagina. And I remember people would come up to me in the MSC. Because, when we used to have poetry nights, the room is dark. You don't really know everybody. People used to be like, hey, you the girl that do the vagina poem. And I used to be like, yes, that's me.
Do I know this poem?
I don't know. And you know what? I probably had spit it like maybe twice.
It was very, very vulgar.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. Vagina was probably the most vulgar word. But it was more so...
Want to spit real quick?
I really can't remember it. I'm trying to think. But it was talking about how like...
Vaginals.
It was like, my vagina is not a closet for you to walk in and hang your insecurities. Ooh. My vagina is not... It was like, how sometimes men... seek women to heal them. And because women were naturally nurturers, we think we have that power, but ultimately we may have some type of influence, but we cannot ultimately do the work for that change. So it's like, don't come and try to use me for your gain and benefit. You're trying to build yourself up while tearing me down in the process. I gotta find that. It was good.
Girl, that's some fire right there.
I miss them days.
That's that. I don't even know what you want to call that.
Kim, could you go back to undergrad?
Can I go back?
Can you go back?
Oh, I had my bad. I had to put the light on.
Oh, hit the light. Hit the light.
It's not
we need
right.
the light. Hit the light.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't the green light without the green light.
We need all the aesthetic.
Anyways, can I go back to undergrad? Yeah. There's a lot of things that, what I'm saying, if I can go back to undergrad out.
What year specifically? I have this conversation with myself often, so.
I would have to say, even though this is a tough one because I didn't know Christina back then, 2015.
That's it for me too, my sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
I need a total redo from start to finish.
Could you do freshman year over?
Absolutely.
I feel like, but what?
I was young, wild, and free.
Oh, okay. So if you could do it from... Okay, so if that's the case, if you can go back to that young, wild, and free, that brings us into our segment of why in those moments did you not commit? In the episode today, ladies and gentlemen, is why women don't commit part 2 with Brookie G.
But Cam, then, although I was young, wild, and free, I wanted to commit, right?
Oh.
But I came, so, I'm from Indiana. So coming to Texas was a culture shock, even when it comes to the people I was meeting. So it's like, although I of course, yeah, I was open to having a boyfriend, the whole college sweetheart thing, if it happened. But I think,
I was not in that mind.
It was one of those things, like, if it happens, it happens. If it don't kind of thing. I was always kind of open to it, but I wasn't really pressed for it because I enjoyed college, just the freedom doing me. So it's like, if it came, cool. If it didn't, I'm not tripping. But my freshman year, I'm going to be honest, because when I think about it now, why I probably didn't really pursue maybe an actual relationship, right? Because I'm being honest, I was giving myself to people, but not in the sense of a real relationship. You know what I'm saying?
You was getting you, but you wasn't committing to Nathan.
You feel me? And I'm going to be honest, I think I was really insecure.
Why is that?
I was really insecure. I'm not lying. Like I said, I came from Indiana to Texas. Different breed of women. Texas women is beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
We got some stallions out there.
And it's like, a lot of the men were used to a certain type of woman. I wasn't. And, even me and my husband talk about it. Like, my husband always say, like, I had to grow on him. And I said, yes, I'm really just kind of like an awkward black girl. I'm very kind of quirky. I'm cool, corny. I'm into so much stuff. Like, I'm very multifaceted. So it's like, I'm a type of person, you just really can't put your finger on me. And I think me being so diverse and complex, it was too much for some of the guys I may have been interested in.
So in a sense, did it make them intimidated?
And yeah, I think so. I've naturally been always more mature in just how I carry myself, the way I think, the moves I make. I just move different. I've always been very mindful. And I do think that kind of come off like, you not doing what they doing. I know I could get away with stuff over here, but I can't do that over here. I know I'm going to be challenged right here, but I may not be challenged right there.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like when guys are in that era or stage of just learning themselves, growing, trial and error, they don't need they don't want interference. Because I was going to come and dismantle all that.
Lord have mercy.
I was. But I had some guys in undergrad, like,
yeah,
I did like. And a part of me, I just remember one person specifically, I think probably why we didn't even get to the point of relationship, immaturity on my behalf, honestly. Yeah. Where I should have probably communicated something. I blocked him.
Oh.
I know.
And that's a lot of things. What is with that? So, like, that's one of the key factors, or one of the things that I would like to talk about on this podcast. This is a open discussion of society.
I know, we just chopping it up.
A societal and cultural type of podcast, and we talk about things that go on in our world. So, with that being said, you touched on something that was very important, and my curiosity is, why is it that when women ghost men, and in this scenario, you pretty much ghosted someone off of not communicating with them and just kind of leaving them by the wayside. So why is it that women ghost men and don't communicate effectively that, hey, I'm not feeling you, or hey, I'm just not in this position? And you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Why is it that happens so often? I know it's subjective, and I know but I trust your expertise, so say less.
I think for me, with that specific situation, I was just naturally kind of cold, and I did not really understand the concept of grace at that point.
Okay.
So I was very just kind of cutthroat with it, like,
okay,
no, don't play with me. So like in this case, me and this guy were talking, and we shared a lot of intimacy. Okay. And I say that in a sense, we never touched, like we never had sex, we never kissed each other.
Telepathy type of thing.
That's what I'm saying. It was just good chemistry, interest, good conversation, good hanging out with, and we didn't need too much. We was very much cool with each other company.
Okay.
So at this point, Kim, this has gone on maybe like 2 semesters, like probably a full school year or almost close to it. And we get to the point we finally express to each other, okay, we like each other. I mean, I know it's probably evident, but we're gonna verbally.
Now, is this a sophomore year or this
No,
is
this was my freshman year.
freshman year?
This was
Okay.
my
All right.
freshman year.
Cool.
This was my This was my freshman year, and the first person I really liked. I would see guys, I would think they were attractive, nice looking, but I didn't really like them. You know, you can be cute. I mean, can't help how God made you, but that don't mean
So,
I was drawn.
and that leaves me confused because most girls, like in this situation, and I mean, like I said, everybody's different, but we speaking in code of, even on PV's campus, a girl will give you their number and will not continue afterwards. So what's the point in giving the number if you knew off of the initial contact that I am not interested in you and it's not gonna go anywhere? This is just for the time being. Like, I see that so many times, like even when we was at parties, like I used to hate going to parties and trying to get numbers because that was never my goal. I just wanted to have a good time. I used to like my little roll-ups. I used to be in my little,
I hate that y'all call it roll-ups.
Well,
it's juking, guys.
That's what y'all called it?
Yes, that's a Chicago term. Juking.
Oh, that's that. Oh,
It's
okay.
juking. So yes, I was like, what?
You
What
know
is a
what I'm
roll up?
We used
Candy.
First and foremost, you don't think of candy when you think of roll up.
I instantly think of a fruit roll up.
Oh, okay.
Instantly.
Okay. All right. Well,
Well,
it is a piece of, some sweetness of at a party. Anyways, besides the point. But I always watch, the cats that be getting they juke on with the girl and whatever, and then they slide the phone to the front while she's still backing it up. Like,
not you trying to hit a 2-in-1.
She trying, you know what I'm saying? She can multitask. Them college educated girls, them girls right there, they can multitask. I'm trying to tell you.
I think it's a couple reasons why. Sometimes girls feel like maybe if I give him my number, he'll leave me alone. Now, I know that's very contradicting within itself because you would think if I give you my number, of course that person's thinking, okay, I'm going to text you.
What?
He bugging me. I'm going to just give him my number. You leave me alone.
Why you just give him the wrong number?
Or I've done that plenty of times. Don't even give him the wrong
number. Just, you know what I'm saying?
I've done that before, and this boy called the number in front of me. So embarrassed. Wasn't really smooth. It wasn't very player.
Well, you should have walked off.
I did. I was like,
my phone did.
I was like, the phone ain't ringing. The phone is in my hand though, so I'm just. I didn't think he was gonna call me. Anyways, I think sometimes girls don't know how to say no nicely without coming off like mean. And I think maybe just for myself, sometimes I found myself in situations like people can be nice and I don't want to be mean. So I passively kind of do stuff without being direct, right? And what I've learned now that I'm older and more mature, I know people would respect my direct honesty more than me being passive. And that's how people get led on, right? We leading people on because we showing signs that I might be interested, but when in reality we're not. So ultimately, that's not fair to the other person. It's not. And I have been in situations like that. And I'm not gonna lie, because I've had guys that would be nice, cool people, but just probably, just not nice for me. And just kind of telling them, it just be kind of hard sometimes. Maybe I was too nice. Like, no.
All right, so let's put it in a grown folk. You know what I'm saying? You being at your big age right now, where you at?
Oh, I'm changed.
And no. Let's hypothetically speaking, I can't say disregard the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, if I wasn't married.
If you was not married, hypothetically speaking, and you was on the market and you met a young man, and you still ghosted him. In the context of a grown woman, why would a grown woman ghost someone because technically you're out of college, you grown now,
right?
So what's the point?
I'm gonna be honest, at this point it's no excuse
to
ghost.
Okay,
we too grown now. We can't have a conversation. And I feel like we're grown enough to have a conversation and still leave cordial, still leave with some type of peace, not having to tear the person down in the process. I think this generation just lacks integrity. And I think it's just simple as saying, hey, I know we've been talking.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of thinking. I don't want to waste your time nor mine. So I have to be honest with you and say, I don't really see me being interested in continuing this.
Mm.
But, I do thank you for the time we have spent thus far.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not it.
Wow.
It's not it.
Wow.
And I've learned that it's your delivery and how you say stuff that makes a person receptive.
Mm-hmm.
Cause but sometimes guys these days be mean. They be kind of tweaking. And you was ugly anyway.
Oh, wow.
Or
that's that that Midwest and that West Coast. Y'all be on them. That's that mean stuff y'all be doing. Cause like down
that's
south,
what I'm changed.
we polite. You know what I'm saying? If you get turned down, it's just like you got a friend, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not accepting.
I ain't heard that one.
Nah, but like you know what I'm saying? Like I remember. And I know I keep teetering back from college days and
Man, because what a time to be
you know what
alive.
I'm saying? It was a time to be alive. But like, I remember like when people be like, oh, I got a boyfriend. Oh, we could be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was very irritating. But
yeah, like some guys like really be persistent.
yeah.
And I think, and this is when I say I don't think women just be as direct.
Okay.
And I think that's what gives guys the okay to feel like they can keep, like maybe it's just something there or maybe that didn't work, but this could work. Okay, well, if this didn't, they're trying to find, and I just think it just boiled down to saying, listen, man, this ain't it.
Yeah. So, okay. And so with that being said, how about, because like I feel like this is another me when y'all meet a young man who seems as if he has everything that you need, and me and Ro talked about wanting versus needing. You have to go check that out. But when you meet a young man that has everything that you need, but you really don't want him, why is it that women do this? Why is it that women constantly friend zone the potential guy?
And Cam, that's good.
You know
And I've had situations like that. But I think it boils down to you may be good, but you're not good for me.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I can meet an individual that is a protector, a provider, comforting, honest, have all these great qualities, but that still does not make them a suitable, compatible. You might be compatible with me, but are you suitable for me? Do we complement each other? Do we have chemistry? Does you know what I'm saying? That's the thing about being equally yoked, right? It's like a puzzle. That doesn't necessarily mean we constantly meet each other here. Everything is in agreement. It's where you're weak, I'm strong. Or where you lack, I pick up. And that's what makes us equally yoked, because we balance each other out. We complement each other. Okay. And I think sometimes, I don't know, Cam, because there are a lot of nice guys out there, but I just can't see myself, like, if I wasn't married, or, I've been in situations in my past where I've seen nice guys, been around nice guys, but just not for me. Like, let me give you an example. Can I give you an example?
You can give me an example.
When I was in undergrad, there was this guy. I met him. It doesn't matter how we met. We met just across campus one day.
Met was understood.
Right, and we went on a date.
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. This man really went out his way. He was a grad student, actually, in engineering.
You a nice man. The man had a future. He had a degree already.
Listen.
That man had a degree.
Listen. So we went on a date. I mean, he went out of his way. He lived in Houston. He drove to PV to pick me up just for us to go back out in Houston.
This water hidden.
Just for him to come back to PV to drop me out. To go back to Houston to drop me out. Now, you already know that's a lot within itself.
That boy putting miles on his car, on his vehicle.
Yes. So anyways, he take me out, very nice, respectful, opening doors. We having dinner, you're nice. You have all these qualities. But it was just some stuff that was just like turnoffs for me.
Really?
Right.
Like what?
And now I'm thinking about your thought process, the way you think about stuff, the way you perceive things is where I was having this resistance. I'm like, okay. Yes, you have all these great qualities, but you as a person kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to stereotype or nothing, but he was African. He was African. So I just think that cultural difference of how I view things and how he views it. We are, but let's be real. We're Americanized very much. And
unfortunately.
But his stance as a man, and he was moving very fast. Like
he's aggressive. He was like very aggressive. And that's kind of like a simple.
And it's scary.
So he's originally from the motherland, or he came down, or he's born in America. Then you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, he was born, and I don't think it was Nigeria. I want to say it was like, where's Bella from? Congolese?
Oh no, she's from
Congo.
It's with a T. I can't think of it. Togo. I think it's Togo.
It's okay, help me, Lord. But no, he was originally from Africa, came over here, and don't get me wrong, he was nice and stuff. But I knew when it came to a relationship, no. And I also seen many areas where I felt like I would like be walking over him, and I don't like that. Sometimes I need a little. Sorry. I need to put that foot down.
Some direction.
Be that leader.
But that's confusing though, because when you meet a couple of like, there's a different like when African men, there's some that's aggressive, and then there's some that are that have that persistence and kind of like scary as hell. But then what I'm saying, there's different kind of African men from. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Because I've talked, countries, different tribes, different backgrounds. So.
And I've talked to somebody else who was African, totally different. They were Americanized. So my experience with that person versus this person was totally night and day.
You know what I'm saying?
But with this guy, I think ultimately, although he did have all these great qualities, it just boiled down. I was scared. He was very aggressive to the point I was like, okay, now I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable, and I just feel like even with a friend, I don't want to feel like that, especially a male friend.
Wow.
I was feeling very uncomfortable, very aggressive, and to me that turned me off. I remember me and my homegirl, we went to the Bahamas for our graduation trip. And at the guys there, they're just very aggressive, and I'm like, "Hey, shorty, let up, like, please." And at this point, I'm married, so now I am like.
Yeah.
No, I can't be dancing on you or with you or certain stuff I can't accept. And it's that no was not enough. So I'm like, dang, what I got to do? Smack you, yell at you, cuss you out. And I just feel like I shouldn't even have to get to that point, because when I say no the first time.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's
what happens when keeping it real goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? Type of.
Oh, that's good. Write that down. When keeping it real goes wrong.
That's the.
I'm gonna remember that.
That was Boondocks. So that was. We can rewind this. You know what I'm saying?
That was good. I'm gonna remember that.
You know what I'm saying?
When keeping it good goes wrong. First Cam, 2 and 4. That was good.
I like that. That 2 and 4.
That was good.
Hey,
you see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
That was good.
You know what I'm saying? Go. You know what I'm saying? LMA Jenkins.
In the book of Cam. That was good.
Cam Green 400 coming out tomorrow. Anyways, what was that? I don't even know. That was corny.
I don't know what 400 is.
400?
400 what?
You never listen to YG?
No. I thought 300. Chief Keef.
Oh, you on that drill time. See, look.
That's what I know, but I was confused. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
We just out here trying to function.
Okay, Cam. So I'm going to ask you this, right?
Okay.
And we're two married people.
Yes, we are.
But pre-married. Let's just go
Premarital.
back. Right. Pre even knowing this person. I'm going to just take it back that far.
Oh,
okay?
The ancient times.
So I'm going to just say, let's say early PV days,
God
right?
have mercy. That count.
When it came to dating, I know you kind of said that your mind wasn't really, but yeah, tell me where your mind was, and let's talk about the maturity, that you went through to get to where you are now. Because let's be real, that it was not that far. It's not that long ago. So you telling me
I'm 2 years removed from college.
So you met Christina our junior year. So let's say between
the end of beginning of our sophomore year. Wait.
It was our junior year.
Junior year, yeah.
So
junior year.
Between 2 to 3 years, or maybe 4. Let's give it some grace.
Okay.
You evolved
Yeah.
into a completely different man.
I did.
Can we be honest on this podcast?
Yeah, we can.
Kim, I was very scared about you and Christina dating.
I was too.
And I say that because I really didn't know you. Right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't know you. And Christina's very precious to me. So I was very like, I need to protect her because that's my friend. I knew where she came from.
Yes. Yes.
So I think just knowing where she came from, I was like, "You sure, Christine?" Because she was moving fast. My friend was really, she was really
Whoa,
feeling you.
that's what I was, you know what I'm saying?
So just
I
tell
think
me,
I
tell
think
me that
we
journey.
I think we both felt the same way, honestly. But pre wifey,
I like that.
you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I was out there, and it wasn't that I wasn't a godly man, because I was already a godly man, and I was already you know what I'm saying, a dude on with a purpose and a mission. And I was distant, or I was different from the crowd. Like, even though there be 1,000 PV men lined up, I'm the one that's gonna stick out. And that's honestly how I always felt. And simply because of my mindset was not like anyone else's.
You was a
And
leader
you know what
for
I'm saying? I
sure.
was a leader for sure. I stuck out like a sore thumb. And it's like, even when I was in the crowd, I couldn't conform to that crowd, because it was just like, that wasn't my way. But I did conform in
Okay.
such a way to where I would, you know what I'm saying, I was gullible, and I was at a point of my life where I loved myself, but not enough to commit to one woman. And
Mm.
so, to a point where I would have, and I said this last episode, or not last episode, but you know what I'm saying, just rewind something back, you're gonna hear it. But I had a problem where it was like a gift and a curse of me having the ability to allow a woman to fall in love with me based off of my personality, based off of my
Charm.
characteristics, my charm, you know what
Mm.
I'm saying, that swag, that you know what I'm saying, just being calm. And so people fell in love with that. And even with me just being
Mm.
genuine and nice, because I was a nice person. Like, I ain't no sense. Even though I come from the hood, even though I come from the trenches, I don't have to pretend to be hard. I
Right.
don't have
Right.
to act
Right.
hard all the time. I'm in college. I'm getting an education. I can't bang on books. So it's like, more so of, I was really nice. I was a social butterfly. And so people mistaked my kindness for me
Mm.
being flirtatious.
So now they're infatuated with the ideal of,
It's
oh
like,
my God, Cameron was this. So now they want to know
you
more.
know what I'm saying? Like, you like me? Like, nah,
Mm.
that ain't even the wave. I just being nice. Like, that's
Right.
just,
That's just who
and
you
you ain't
are.
never met a nice guy, and that's,
That's the thing. Hold on, before you go there,
yeah.
because you said something so powerful.
Okay.
And to hear a man say it, I
Uh-huh.
think that's what really kind of made me be like, hold on.
Yeah.
You said, I didn't love myself enough
Mm-hmm.
to commit to one woman.
Yep. I didn't.
So were you trying to find love in multiple,
I did.
just trying to find something here, but that's not fulfilling me. So I'm going to go over here, but this not fulfilling me.
Yep. And so what that was is like, I was chasing after, because like what most black men go through that live in single parent households, or even in parent households with their mother, and it's not their best relationship, or it's not the greatest examples of what you see. You tend to have abandonment issues anyway. And so I was having abandonment issues with my mother. Granted, me and my mom was cool. You know, I loved her. She loved me. You know, she came to every football game. You know, she was a support system.
But that emotional.
But it was emotional things, and there was
Okay.
things that she was going through that I saw, and there was things that she was allowing that I was angry at. And so I wasn't necessarily angry with my mother, but I didn't learn that until later on. I was angry at her past. I was angry at her brokenness. I was
The
angry at the
circumstance.
circumstance that she was going through. And so that placed me in a position of, I don't know how to commit when I get on this campus. And on top of that, I was trying to be this commitment type of guy in high school, and I wasn't even trying to be a player in high school. I was really trying to be this nice one, but I met the wrong one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that.
I met the girl at the party that was twerking. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
one thing led to another, and found out, you know what I'm saying, for the community. But it was more so of, you know, and no shade, no shade, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, that was shade, but it was no shade at the same time. Anyways, I contradicted myself. But you know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But I got my heart broke with that. And so I allowed that heartbrokenness to prevent the next person to get the full cam. And so that was more baggage. I was bringing my baggage with me to the next situation.
And so on and
you
so
know,
on.
and so it was like, oh, you're a great guy. Oh, I want to commit to you. Oh, I like you. And after the sex, I come to realization that, wait a minute, I don't really like you like that.
Right.
Or
Ooh, because that's when you really see somebody. That's like the scales is off your eyes
you know what I'm
now.
saying? It's just, I was lustful towards a lot of women in PV's campus, and I was just getting me, and it was a lot of girls that were friendly. There was a lot of and the thing was, I was really genuine with a lot of young women that
I think. Ooh, okay. Can
was-
you hitting on some stuff, Cam? Two things.
What?
I'm listening to what you're saying, so we got to break it down before we get to
All right.
one. You said you grew callous to certain things because of stuff you witnessed
Correct.
as a child.
Correct.
So those seeds were planted earlier, and we seen them manifest as you grew older, right?
Correct.
And the topic, because we are everywhere, but
We are.
why women don't commit, I believe that's another reason too, because we have not seen commitment. A lot of women and men at a very early age had not had the opportunity to witness real love, right? Real love, or at least just a healthy relationship.
Correct.
We haven't seen open communication. You know, we've had instances, you know, parents thinking it's okay to argue in front of their kids. So now I'm seeing chaos in the house. We're seeing broken families, one person split. We're seeing infidelity, and we're consuming it so young.
Yeah.
So even very young, I kind of have this distortion
Yeah.
of commitment, of relationship. Like, it ain't gonna work anyway.
I seen a train of that, but go ahead.
Or in some, no, I'm gonna let you go. But sometimes we even build like this defense mechanism, like because I don't want that to happen to me.
Shut these doors.
Right.
It's a force field. It's this fortress that I'm gonna build and protect myself, or feel as if I'm protecting myself. But the thing is, you block your blessing when you protect too much of yourself and you don't allow yourself to heal. And so it's like, this person right here may be what you need in your life, but because your brokenness from your past and the baggage that you ain't dealt with in the past and the things that you have coped with but you never faced has hindered you from that person. And so that's what it was. It was like, before Christina, even when Christina came in the picture, I friend zoned the hell out of her simply because I was not in a position of, you know, I was like, Shadi, I don't even know you.
It's like, you really not even trying to hurt her.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt you. Like, I'm broken myself. So, and I know I don't know you very, very well and well enough. I know you just got out of a relationship, and I met her literally at your birthday party.
Right. So that was October 2016.
And I didn't even know her then. It was just like, and we weren't even talking until like later on.
I think it when we went hop like an alpha, it was just around, so maybe spring.
I don't even, like, it was more so of when, it wasn't until we met in 2016.
It was like maybe a semester later.
Yeah, it wasn't until 2017 that we got really, really close. And then, you know, I got online for Alpha, then I crossed, and then we was really tight in that whole process. And then once, like, I literally waited an entire year to cuff.
Yeah.
And so, and then during the time of cuffing, it was on and off seasons. Like, people didn't know, but we would break up and make up, and it was it was simply because of me. I was dealing with some things, and I was like, man, you have everything that I need, but right now I don't want it. And so,
that goes to my next point. What you said earlier. Cam, that's good. I'm thinking how.
Yeah, it's all good. I had to get your mic right.
Thank you. Let me get it together.
Say
how can I process this? You know, sometimes we just see the manifestation, and I'm just saying this for a lack of better terms right now, but we see the manifestation of a man being a dog, right? It's almost like those situations, like you look at how I react, but you don't look at what caused me to even get to that point.
Yeah.
Right. And I listened to something you said, and it reminded me of just even my husband's experience. So I'm seeing that this is just something that may be familiar. It was heartbreak.
Yeah.
That planted that seed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it carried on.
For
so it's like you had to break that. It had to chisel. You had to slowly strip yourself of that pain, that old thing, you know.
And it's almost like it's what on top of, you have baggage that you personally go through, but in the same breath, as you get older, you start to reflect back on things that happened in your childhood. You start to think and like, well, what happened in that situation? I remember that one situation, but and I was too young to understand, but then I kind of figured out, or I caught on to it, or somebody gave me the inside scoop of what was really going on. And so now, like as an adult, I had to like I would go back and revisit things and realize that my parents' decisions pre-cam and
Jacked you up.
effed me up
I
completely.
saw this post and it said, I hate that I had to come to find out adulthood is just figuring out, adulthood is just pretty much undoing trauma from your childhood, right?
What?
So, I'm going to school to be a counselor.
Yes.
And
Shout
that's
out
one
to
of
the,
the,
you know what I'm saying, mental health.
to help, right?
You know
But
what I'm
that's
saying?
one of the things I like to focus on, though, is that childhood, because we're so impressionable, and that's when we absorb the most. And this is where we start to create these perceptions of who we want to be, who we don't want to be, who we don't want to mess with, who we do want to mess with. And we kind of portray these characteristics to get to this ideal person that we want to be, right? And it's just interesting because, I mean, I've had instances even myself, but I'm just listening to how the person you was growing to be was just a manifestation of stuff you consumed and
Yeah.
absorbed being such a young kid.
And I'm gonna hit you with this. Say No More started off of trauma. Say No More came from trauma.
Turn that pain to purpose.
You know what I'm saying? What's understood doesn't have to be explained. There was a lot of times that things were not guaranteed to me. There was a lot of times I got my hopes up and things did not happen. And I would be like, this should happen, and it's like it never happened. Every time I would get my hopes up, I was getting let down over and over and over again, and it was never a guaranteed in my life. And I was like, damn. And now as an adult, I'm like, I'm in a position to where I can actually make these things happen for myself, because when I was as a child, I went into dark places because I would give such a huge expectation towards people such as my parents and such as things that I look forward to, and it was always let down. So with that being said, it's like I understood what is being explained. You ain't got to explain it no more. Let's take these actions. Let's stop talking about what we gonna do and let's take actions. And so that's where Say No More came from. It came from those trauma, but it also was me reflecting back and realizing that, hey, if Cam Green went through this as a little kid in A-Leaf, then let me go back to the same neighborhood that I know that I didn't have a voice and be a voice for those little kids that don't have that voice. And so that's where it came from. And so this ties all the way back into commitment as well.
Yeah.
And I think that this pours into why women don't commit as well, because you look at, and it is no shade of, because I don't want to seem like the old head that's hating, but you look at the city girls, you look at a Meg Thee Stallion, you look at a Nicki or Cardi or Mulatto, or just these new girls, these new ways.
Because it's like they're projecting the same thing.
And they saying the same thing. They're selling sex. They saying that these niggas ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? They saying all of these different things within these songs. And they saying, I don't need a man for nothing but some penis. And so with that being said, that is a lot of trauma. They're sharing their baggage, and we are consuming it as the listener and saying, oh, girl, it's a hot girl summer. But do you not know how much trauma is behind that hot girl summer? You touch that damn stove, it's going to burn you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
And I agree. That's what I was thinking too. Why women don't commit. I just think about the music and what's projected on social media, and we're a fool to say that we're not influenced by it. You know, even if it's just a little seed, it's still there. And I'm like, you look around you and you see more bashing, and you see more just all the songs and all this and that, the disrespectful just to self, all that, more than we see relationships, people honoring one another, people we're not seeing that.
You're not gonna see it.
We're not. And it makes me think like another reason why people don't commit, and I'm even thinking just like patterns in people's life. When sometimes I think about how when you have something so good and it slips away.
Wow. I
think that trauma of revisiting that again, having something and getting it snatched out the hand.
Wow.
I'm matriculating, I'm going, now I got something good, now it's gone again. Now I'm thinking like heartbreak, seeds of heartbreak. And even though it's not a physical, literal death, you're grieving something you once desired, something you wanted, and we there is no time cap on grief.
Yeah, it's not.
So you go years still mourning this one thing or this something you once had and don't have it no more.
Oof.
And now it's like I'm scared to pursue it again because I'm scared
Yeah.
to go back to square one.
I think. Oh, excuse me. A lot of women do that. A lot of women, are afraid of starting over, or afraid of being alone. And so when they're single, and I said this and why men don't commit, but these women are not utilizing their time correctly.
They're not.
While being single. It's like in your season of singleness, you are not alone. You are always entertaining something. And as a single person, you're supposed to reevaluate what you did wrong and what you did not do, right, or whatever the case may have been in the last relationship, and say, okay, this didn't work out. How can I grow in this? Versus saying, oh, that nigga was crazy.
Yeah.
Or it was all him. It was all
We don't want to
him.
be accountable.
Hold yourself accountable. What did you do in that situation? Yeah, he might have been thrown off, and I do agree he was thrown off, and yes, he did cheat, and yes, he was no good for you, and he didn't deserve your love. But in the same breath, you is no saint.
Yeah.
So what did you do wrong in that situation?
Cam, I've been that girl. Like,
you
really kind of tap dancing over here. I need you to chill.
I
need you to let up.
It's like,
I've been that girl. And that's like gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? I'm just projecting this scenario to make you feel like your reality is false. It was all you. And that's not the case. I was in a situation. I just look back on that. I so badly solely wanted to blame this person. And don't get me wrong, I was heartbroken. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but I did have to come to a place, and I'm not gonna lie, my single season in between there was short. It was.
I'm trying to tell you.
But in that time frame, so much clarity came because I was able to finally be raw. I'm like, okay, Brooke, like, seriously.
Yeah.
This person is gone. I'm literally by myself. I have nothing but thoughts. So I'm like, I'm really able to look at the situation. And I had to look at it like, yes, I'm looking at how by my hands so much.
Yeah.
So much took place. Even stuff could have been prevented. And I just think like, accountability is important.
Yeah, no, it is. I think that
it's important, especially accountability to self, the ability to introspect and look at yourself. Because like you said, that's something that's very important to do in your single season. So you're not repeating those patterns.
Yeah, no. So I think with that, Lord have mercy, where was I going with this? You know what I'm saying? Lord, what's that? Is that the chair?
I
don't know what that was. Anyways,
we're talking about being accountable.
But I think women don't give themselves time to forgive themselves.
Ooh,
you have to. I think it's like, you're supposed to forgive those who have hurt you, forgive yourself, and ask for forgiveness of all of those things. And so that's that place of singleness. And I think that it's like, in a sense, it's like women, it's a lot of just total brokenness of, you can't fully be single because you're horny all the time.
Right.
And it's,
or you need some attention.
Or you need some attention. Or you know what I'm saying? It's like, there's so many women that probably do want commitment but can't get it at the moment because they're giving themselves to this person.
They can't
and that
commit
person.
to themselves.
They can't commit to themselves. They can't show exemplified self, discipline and all of those things. Hey, matter of fact, while we on the subject, because you study mental health, but I also, study mental health in undergrad, and now I have my own coaching company. It's called Say Less Life Coaching. You can come holler at your boy and get a free 30-minute consultation to see if coaching is your thing. And we focus on not so much your childhood trauma, but we acknowledge your childhood trauma, but we acknowledge and try to focus on your present and where to move forward and how to grow. So I think that therapy is more so of, you know what I'm saying? The reflection.
We're digging.
Yeah,
we're digging.
Y'all digging into the
Yeah.
past. We are in coaching. We understand your past. We kind of revisit the past, but then we present. How we moving forward? What we gonna do to grow? What we doing now? that we have understood the past. And so I think that's ultimately what that is. But there was something else that you mentioned. It was in regards to music. Now, when it comes to music, you say, and I mentioned earlier with all of those things, and I don't mean to get spiritual at all on people, but we are.
Yes, we do.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we meant to. We Christians, and but we believers that ain't of the Western mindset. We woke Christians. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother podcast with that.
I seen that topic.
You know
I said I needed to do some studying.
Oh yeah, no.
Before I hit the mic.
Come on now. I would come with the heat of why black people
I said I need to hold on.
Christianity. I come with the heat. And listen, we can tag team that one day, just not today. But one thing that I wanted to pinpoint as far as with music is we forget that in the spiritual world or in our faith that Satan was the director of music. He was the choir director in heaven. He orchestrated the music. So when he got kicked out of heaven, what you think he influenced other than whatever it was and manipulating? So you have to think about it like in that sense of he can tap into the music too to influence you, to conform you, to make you believe in this narrative of all of those things. These are music that help you to feel good, make you turn up, but at the same time, it continues the cycle of brokenness. It continues the cycle of repeating the same thing. Man, I want to know your take on this, but in the podcast I talked about what my men don't commit is that I said that the thing is that with men, when we are messing with a girl that we may not like or dealing with something that may not be the perfect situation for us, and like you probably thinking to yourself like, that girl ugly, or that girl like what you see in that girl and how you have sex with her, and it was like, but you got to understand in a man's mind, having sex with her, we have no emotional tie to it, but women really don't believe that. They like, no, you got some type of tie to him. Yeah, it's a soul tie if you on a spiritual level, and it's still a soul tie regardless of how you put it. But on a emotional level, I feel nothing for that. I literally can lay down with her right now, and then 5 minutes or 30 minutes later, I don't feel anything. And I'm ready to go. I'm ready to eat some snacks, and then I'm gonna hit the road. And so it's like, why is it that way? And it's because for men, when we have sex with someone that we do not like and we just doing it off of the strength of just doing it, it's equivalent to masturbation. It's literally equivalent to masturbation. But we ain't ready for that topic. Ain't nobody ready for that conversation. But, and so, and then in another breath, Lord, I forgot my train of thought. Oh, I was getting ready to.
Okay, let me hit on something. You hitting on a lot. I'm trying to keep it in my head. When you talked about the music and stuff, you right, because faith comes by hearing, and the word tells us, "So as a man thinketh, so is he." If I'm constantly feeding myself something, I'm gonna begin to believe it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, and that's natural, and that's why I said a lot of people's behaviors are just subconscious.
Yeah.
I don't even know where it came from, but it's in me, because what's in you, it got to come out.
Facts.
So
Facts.
that I think that's just where that thing is. And very interesting. There's other topic you kind of brought up, because me and my husband, we talk about this. And this is what he tells me, and I believe it to be true. While men are physical creatures, while women are audible creatures, right? You kind of got to talk your way into the panties, versus if a man just sees something he might like, he could get with, cool, that's it, and that's what it can be. But with a woman, you gotta get in my mind. Yes,
you gotta dibble and dabble. It's not like, now there are some simplistic women that
right. I mean, it's not for everybody, but if I could just,
but for the majority,
right. And I think yes, women, we are just naturally emotional beings.
Yeah.
And my friend asked this question on Facebook the other day, and she was just like, how do y'all feel about premarital sex, right? And I told her my answer, just outside of any biblical perspective, just naturally. And I tell people all the time, it took me being married to understand why God forbids fornication, sex outside of marriage, because it's protection. It protects us from emotional ties, unwanted children, sexually transmitted diseases, child support, just all this other stuff. It's protection. But a lot of us, we look at it almost like as if it's punishment.
Mm-hmm.
But I told her, I believe, and this goes for men and women,
Mm-hmm.
our bodies are sacred and everyone should not have access to it.
Correct.
And it makes me go back to just what you said about the pretty much self-love thing.
Yep.
Even the Bible tells us that sex is the only sin that you
body-
defile yourself.
Yeah.
You defile yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You doing more damage to yourself than you are to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder how we be jacked up.
Yeah.
Right? You be jacked up.
Insecure.
And you taking Bobby with Sally, and now when you with Sally, you know you carrying all of this, right? And this is why sometimes, just an opinion, why I think it's hard for people to commit in a sense of marriage, right? Because now I'm bound to just this one thing
person.
and this one person
For the rest of my
forever,
life.
right? Because when you're in the bedroom with your wife, you can't bring Shanika from 2 years ago and expect your wife to be doing what Shanika was doing. You can't expect your wife to be doing what Brenda was doing. No, you have to purge yourself. And I remember, when I met Marvin, well, before I met him, I told you, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't in a relationship before, but I was like in a situationship. I was very emotionally invested.
Yeah.
So, I had a lot of stripping to do, like cleansing. And I remember I watched, and my deliverance was quick. Thank you, Jesus. I watched No More Sheets by Juanita Bynum. And she said something in there. And I remember I started proclaiming that ever since. She was asking God to divorce her of spirits, of men that she had ever been with, you know, so that when she meets her husband, I'm pretty much having a virgin-like experience.
Yeah.
And baby, I was praying that prayer, okay? I'm like, not even just Lord, give me amnesia to it. I don't want to remember what they felt like. I don't want to remember the emotional tie I had to it.
So hard.
You know, because I'm like, that is not fair
To that person.
to the man who will be my husband. Because now I have all these unrealistic expectations of what he should do and who he should be. This is also why I'm so against porn.
Yeah.
I understand porn is a stronghold. It's not easy, but it's a fantasy. And now
It's fake.
and it's like the moment I get something in front of me, I'm trying to get this person, and that's not even real.
Yeah, not facts. And it's like it lacks the intimacy, it lacks everything, and so it gives us a false idea, it gives us a false narrative from expectations to, you know, just the physical being, you know, the physical aspect of everything and the emotional aspect of it. And I feel like you're right on what you're saying, because like I said, it kills those expectations.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. Protect me.
Protect, you know what I'm saying? You got to be protected, because now you feel like a goofy when you're not performing well or when you're not doing all of these things. But if both of y'all come from ignorance, of pure ignorance of not knowing sex, then inside of this, it would actually work. It would actually work because y'all are actually pure in your mind and in your bodies to honestly indulge in this and learn it together, be students of the game together. But it makes no sense, or it makes it feel no good, because like I've heard in situations and scenarios where people be like, man, I gotta have sex with this person before I marry them.
I was just gonna say, I gotta drive the car before I bag.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta have sex with this person because I'm fearful that if I marry this person, that they may not be good, or they may not be what I like, or they, in a woman's context, may not have the right penis size, or you know, the depth, you know, can deliver in the way that I'm used to. And so now it's like, had you know what I'm saying?
But this how I feel about that, and we married, so maybe you know.
Facts.
I feel like sex is just another way to communicate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It to me is just another love language. When I can't verbally say I just feel like that's just another act of love.
It's a passion.
Sex is selfless.
Yes.
I am giving myself to you in the most vulnerable way I can.
Sacred.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
That's why it is very much a spiritual exchange, you know. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Lord,
it's a spiritual exchange though, and it's like it scares me to know that people, and I'm saying people because I ain't that no more, are so willingly doing this with whenever, wherever,
Well,
whoever.
because I mean, well, we can't fake the fun. We was there. We was there, and we was doing it with whenever, whoever, however. A late night call, early morning call, midday, lunch break. You know what I'm saying? We was those people, and we was conform to.
I wasn't. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there like how you saying it. You know what I'm saying?
We was conform. And then we got saved, or we started
We
to
changed.
be more intentional within our walk with Christ.
Yes,
That's
we
what it
changed.
was. It was, it was a change. But you know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying?
We was there.
We was there.
I be telling people.
You know what I'm saying?
And we just gotta call it like it is. We was some hoes.
Transparency. We was hoeing out here in these streets.
We was some hoes. It is what it is.
But it's fully transparency, and so Lord have mercy.
I know.
But And one thing I was going to say earlier was that it was in pertaining to baggage. I was saying that for men, and maybe you could touch on this or whatever, but for men, we, as a man, we see baggage within women. And so that's what it's like. It's like, y'all talk about this dog mentality or this prey, like we the predators and then we see our prey. But it's like, for men are dumb, but men are not completely stupid.
Right.
And so the thing is, men can actually weed and see, oh, she broken. Oh, she's vulnerable. Oh, she's open.
So you know what to pray on.
I know exactly how to approach
That's
this
evil.
thing. I know how to approach this thing to get what I want. And I'm gonna come in, and so it's almost like the enemy. Like, I come in here to steal, kill, and destroy, get what I want, then leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally that type. And so there's a lot of women that do the same. There's a lot of women that, oh, he's a good looking. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like an entire cycle of, I know how to capitalize on your baggage.
That's interesting. And I read an article one time, and it was pretty much talking about how, like, when it comes to sexual attraction, people are usually or find some type of attraction within broken people. I don't. It's more, and it's like a power thing. Like, I'm here to be your savior. I see you broken. Let me fix you with this sex kind of thing.
What? I know so many people that had that.
You know, and I was like, I just think of a past situation with myself. I think it was our brokenness that kind of, misery loves company. So now we miserable together. And I remember this, so I say, gotta listen to God. I believe this person was my assignment. I had some type of value in their life, but I ruined it when we had sex. And it's like, when we had sex, when we finished, it was like a movie. I looked at him and I said, we messed up.
Damn.
We messed up. But that wasn't enough for me, because I kept going. You know what I'm saying?
I did that too. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
And it was like, up until that point, that person was going, like I said, that person was going through stuff. I was going through stuff. But now I'm carrying your problems. So where I had never experienced depression in my life.
You started feeling depressed.
So depressed, Cam. I was living with Christina. I'll never forget. This might be TMI, but it's true. I was in my room. Room was filthy. I didn't have no sheets on my bed. And I remember I ain't have no clothes on. I didn't eat. I wasn't going nowhere. Nowhere. And it got to the point, I guess, now my roommate's recognizing. And Christina came in my room and was like, no. Like, get up. I never been so depressed that I was bedbound. I'm not even going to class. I'm not even eating. Baby, I'm not missing no meals. I'm not even eating.
Wow.
And that's why I'm just like, and it came through sex, an open door, right? Because this is true. Yeah. God designed us. Every hole on our body is a means of entry. Okay? Our nose, holes, we smell. Our ears, holes, we hear. Our mouth, we eat. Our area, you know what I'm saying? Procreation.
Say less.
And through that, spiritual transfusion. And I was just like, and that is, I think, where you said something before, and it was so powerful, having to forgive yourself. And like, even me, and this is just me being honest, where I forgave that person early on, it took a long time for me to forgive myself. Because I'm like, I wasted so much time. I can't believe I did this.
Wow.
I didn't do this. And you know what I'm saying? To the point, I'm giving everything I got, money, time, my body. At this point, I'm gonna propose to you. Cause what else?
That's a whole nother topic.
Not literally, but
Yeah.
what else can I give?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The only thing missing is the commitment.
Yeah. And I've said this before, like, I don't understand why we give to so many other people what belongs to our husbands and our wives. And so it's like,
but like I said, it took me to be married to actually see. And I think that's sad.
It's not for real though.
Because for a lot of people, they don't even get to that point.
Not yet. I think it took me to a point where I'm advocating, because but the thing was, I think it takes a accountability system as well.
Yes. You gotta tell somebody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Ray, Ro, Snicks, Derek, TG, what's that boy? Lord, I can't think. Dre, everybody, we was all a accountability system to each other, because we all come from brokenness. We all dealt with some situations, and it was like, all right, bro, like, we have been going through so much, but how do we hold each other accountable? How do we hold each other afloat?
Yeah, I got a question based on that accountability, right?
Okay.
Sometimes when you're in a situation, right, you can't really see when you're in. You may be missing something, but on the outside looking in, you be like, what's wrong with that person?
Yeah.
As boys, as homeboys, do y'all have those conversations with each other? Like, bro, hey, you tripping with her?
Yeah. Bro, that was all the time. That's the reason why we was like the small percentage or the exception of like, what is that man group over there? All of them need to be cuffed. All of them need to be married over there. And so that's why I'm 25 and married right now.
Right.
Simply because of accountability, or simply because of
somebody
as a believer, I was really living a Christ-like life, and I was struggling for real. I wasn't living in my sin. I was struggling in my sin. I would have sex with this girl and that girl and be like, bro, what is wrong with me? And I would have text messages and be like, hey, we got to stop doing this, and we got to chill out. And they'd be like, all right, cool. I respect that. And then next week I'm horny again. And it's like, again, and then they're like, well, make up your mind. And then I'm texting again like, hey, yo, we got to, you know what I'm saying? And so
it's hard. It is.
It was so many times I would ask for forgiveness, and I would pray for me, like, God, like, please, like, and bro, like, there'd be times where I would have sex with a young woman, and literally within those hours, I would try to repent, or I would go into repentance, or you know what I'm saying? And then, like, literally completely, and people be like, bro, like, how can you just did that like last week, and how you moved on so quickly? It's like, because I was really struggling, and like, it was something that I had to understand. But most people out here they don't really have that relationship with God. And so when that comes to the place of doing this and doing this, it's a dangerous situation. They don't have a healing process, because one, they're not normalizing therapy, and two, they're not normalizing God. And so when you don't normalize God and therapy, then therefore, how can you heal properly?
You have no help.
You have no help. You have no foundation. You have nothing to confide in. You have nothing to restore yourself, and you don't have that spiritual maturity, or just that maturity in general, to forgive yourself, forgive those who will hurt you, and ask for forgiveness in general. And so it was all of those things that played a pivotal role. And I feel like that is the same thing when it comes to women, in a sense. You could help me out, but
I'm gonna say I don't believe women have that much accountability.
They don't.
I'm going to be honest.
And not all men have this accountability.
Right. And
my group had that accountability.
Right. And I'm thinking of my group. My group.
Yeah, you have some wholesome friends.
Right. So to share with my wholesome friends, that I'm doing some unholy things.
So, like judgment?
Yes.
Oh.
So it was hard to even ask for accountability. Right. Because even sometimes for me, it'd be unsolicited comments that people make that instantly let me know I can't talk to you about that. And that's sad, because I feel like, let's keep it a buck. My struggle may not be your struggle, but there is still struggle. So at least let's come together. And I don't think, I think it wasn't until like I pushed closer to my senior actually graduation where I sought accountability. And it was people just I kind of met new people. You know, at that point, you don't know me. I'm gonna tell you. Let's keep it a bug.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes women are very private. Cause let's be real. Your girlfriends are gonna have those conversations like every time you and Taquan get into it, you want to come tell me his problems, but you just finna be right back with him. I get tired of hearing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being the person hearing about the circumstance, and I'm also tired of being the person in the circumstance. And I do have to understand that it's such a hard fight.
Yeah.
You know, between something I want and desire versus knowing what's really good for me. That's what I'm saying. I am learning to understand it is not easy. Breaking and that's why I say I'm at the point you asked me why was I so easy to cut it off. That's why, because I know it's not easy. I just have to I have to totally cut it off. Wow. That was not healthy, right? I'm in a different place now. It's not healthy, but at that time that was the best for me, because if I'm still seeing you, maybe even hearing you, the fact that you have access to me, right, is my problem.
Yeah,
I don't want access to you. You don't need it to me. Let's shut it all the way down.
Yeah.
So I think in that little gap I had, because it was petty. It was, looking back on it, it was petty. It was immature. I blocked that person. Because now at this point I'm pissed. So if I block you, that's very serious. So at this point I'm livid. Can I say that word? I'm sorry. Yeah, but I'm livid.
Girl, you good.
So after that, like I said, I'm shut off from it all. I'm not telling my friends what's going on, because at this point I can't trust them, because our friends group was mingling.
Like,
so
girl.
You know, so and now I feel like, and I know this is bad, you don't have my side no more. You're biased. I know, right? But I felt alone.
Yeah.
But that isolation was very, very, very important for me to see.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But in the same breath and we got to go into a topic that's another podcast topic of accountability versus judgment. But I'm just going to touch on it for as simple, because most women that don't share those things are afraid to face reality.
And that was me, Cam.
And there's a thing too, like for me as well, because I struggle with that, because I know that if I told my real friends what was going on, they gonna check me off the rip. Like, hey, bro, what you doing?
And Kim, I think the crazy thing is, because I'm not gonna lie, I was very I naturally was defensive.
Yeah.
And I naturally had like this grit about me, like chill out, it's Brooke G, like stop playing with me.
Not fast.
And I feel like even if there were times my friends wanted to express something to me about me, they maybe the door was never open, or they didn't feel comfortable because I had so much defense built up. I wasn't open to receiving it anyway.
Wow.
So maybe they probably wanted to tell me something, but just I know how Brooke is, so I'ma just.
You was mature, but not mature in the way that you are now, to where
you know what
can
I'm
go
saying,
back and just realize like, wow, that was
right. And you said something powerful. I didn't want to come to the reality of some things. I was controlling. I was petty in certain situations. I mean, just those are two just major things I could recall from that time. And it's just like back to that having to forgive yourself thing. Because I'm like, girl, tweaking.
Yep.
What y'all? You're capping. Like, you really was.
Lord have mercy.
Really was tripping.
Not facts. Yeah.
Really was tripping. And that's why I say, I think about sex, because sex was a big thing, but sex can blind you. You no longer see a person for who they are, but what they can give you. And I stopped looking at a person for who they were and only taking them for what they could give me.
Wow.
And when I was not getting what I wanted, and that's not even just sex. When I wasn't getting something, now you creating a monster. Honestly,
that's some spoiled brats.
But that's you know what I'm saying.
It's real.
Because I feel like I'm giving, like I told you, I'm doing too much.
Yeah, no.
And you're not doing enough.
Look, say less.
Listen, help me today.
Oh my God.
I was tripping. I be telling people, I'm the one I'm gonna say. I've even gone back to that person and had to apologize.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it freed me, so I hope it free you.
Yeah, and I think we need that.
Yeah.
Because a real friend is gonna be transparent with you. A real friend is gonna, you know what I'm saying, like that transparency is a thing. And so and like I said, I don't mean to get on the accountability versus judgment type of thing, but a real friend is gonna tell you this is because it's gonna tell you the real, it's gonna tell you the truth. And so like for me, I have a lot of friends that don't open up to me, or I got a lot of mentees that won't open up to me fully because they're afraid to face reality.
Yeah. Especially you being who you are. I have no choice but to tell it like it is.
Exactly.
Because
Like,
what you come to me for?
it's like you want to know my opinion, or you want to know what makes you feel comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To be holy is to be set apart, and to be holy is to be uncomfortable. So if you want to talk about Christian life, and you a believer, you call yourself a believer, and you want me to hold you accountable, I'm gonna tell you the real.
And you got to be okay with being uncomfortable.
And you got to be okay with being uncomfortable.
And that's where growth comes from, though. How I'm gonna change and grow if I don't never
You know what I'm saying?
figure it out.
If I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So like that's a big thing. It's just like you gotta be accepting of that. Like what good am I as a friend if I see you, you got a girlfriend, but you over there with, and you over there with, and then I'm with you when we over there doing, but then I'm in your girl face like, hey, or you in your man face like, hey,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I can't keep quiet. Like, come on, dog.
It's like, come on now. So it's like, I'm doing you a disservice, and I'm not helping the cycle. I am feeding the cycle. I am feeding.
Right.
I'm feeding this. I don't know what you want to call it. This unhealthy. This junk
pattern.
food. This junk food of your life.
Yeah.
It's not good for you, but it tastes good as hell.
Do you ever feel like you get to a point, and I feel like this is something I'm dealing with now, where you just have to take your hands off of something?
All the time. Yeah.
I think I've gotten to that place with a lot of stuff where I'm just like,
you just gotta let it go.
Right.
It's kind of like my phone. Like I have like 1,000 pictures, and wifey or Christina always telling me, she like, you need to delete some of that to store. But I'm like, it's so much memories in that. And so a lot of people hold on to people in their lives, not so much because of what they can do for them, or not because they are a blessing to your life. They holding on to history.
And that's so powerful. You say that. My husband say that all the time. It may not necessarily be the person that you miss, but the routine.
The history. Yep.
It's the routine y'all had. You're not getting them texts no more. You're not going here, doing that. And I think that is a major part. That's why I said for me, I was cold with it. I didn't even want to slide back or fall back.
My mama asked about you.
That's my girl.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's what literally what happened in those situations. Like, that's what brings somebody back in. Hey,
right.
You know
Look, I think it literally, but no, for real, right?
The gullibleness.
Or just saying, you just came across my mind. How you doing?
You know what I'm saying? Like, how, hey, one girl hit me with, text me out of the blue. I ain't talked to this girl in years. This was like, I think maybe high school or something like that. She was like, Cam, and I was like, what's good? She was like, you all right? And I'm like, yeah, why? She's like, I had a dream about you.
Oh, nah. But let's be real, Cam. I think now that we're married, people see us in this place of what a lot of people think is a place of arrival. They realize, like, this is something I would have liked to obtain all along. I done had niggas, you know what I'm saying, since I've been married.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm just like, one, very disrespectful. But two, no, baby, because you had your chance.
Bad. There's so many young ladies that, see me from afar and be like whispering. Or like, like just be, or some of them be hating on the low. And I feel like there's a lot of people that be on social media, PV, fam in general, they have a lot to say about your marriage. They have a lot to say about what your circumstances is. And in actuality, it's not the fact that they really want what you have.
And that's what it is. And that's ultimately what it boiled down to.
Man, look, we over here talking about something, but
I'm like,
we talk about, look, we can go on
keep it a buck.
We can go on for 2 hours, but listen, I wanted to just close this all the way out.
Okay.
But we're going to come to the conclusion of why women don't commit, and, you know what I'm saying, then how can we be better? I mean, how can women, and you as a woman,
Right.
the commitment issue. So
To sum up our conversation today, we said women can't commit because one, they never had a demonstration of a
True.
healthy relationship or commitment
Model theory.
because of what's projected out in the world through social media, blase blase, not fully healing from trauma, things of that sort, and also maybe just not even having accountability within their own life and relationships where they're not able to exercise commitment. So I think looking at all those things, if you find yourself in that situation, I feel like as a woman, take the responsibility to remove yourself and sit down.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just keep it a buck, and I'll probably ruffle some feathers if people.
Ruffle them.
I'll ruffle
I
feathers.
like ruffle feathers.
Young ladies, I feel like, and this is totally subjective, but I feel like, you don't commit to, or you won't give to what's your potential husband because someone else has your heart.
Mm.
Whoa.
Woo.
Say less.
You need to be free.
Brooke G, you know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. You already know we say no more, plugged in. We family out here. Say no more to the nonprofits. Check us out.
It's the gang for me.
Say no more to brand on the Instagram. Let us know what you think about this podcast on whatever platform that you received it in, and damn it, share it with somebody.
Yes, tell your mama, tell your cousin, put it in them group chats, put it in them group meets, put it on Twitter. Stop playing
and support us. We black,
Stop
black,
playing.
and we trying to elevate our lives. We trying to change the narrative and put other people on and put people in position to, you know what I'm saying?
To eat.
Come on now. Just support us. That's all we ask you. Support is free as hell.
Free 99.
Free 99. You know what I'm saying? So
like, comment, share, subscribe.
All of that. All
5
that
stars.
all that
write a
stuff.
review.
You know what I'm saying? So you keep it going. Matter of fact, you want to kick a freestyle before we leave?
No, I don't.
God. Well, next time we have to do something else. Brooke, you know that you have to be. You are a part of Say No More as a organization, as a nonprofit. Your name is on the paperwork. You got to come up on this podcast a little bit more frequently because they need to know your expertise.
Yes, I've
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say. Shout outs to, Miss Jeffrey. Mrs. Jeffrey. I gotta say that. I can't say Miss Jeffrey. Mrs. Jeffrey.
Can you zoom in on this?
No, I don't have a remote. If
I mean, when you edit it. It's
like,
okay. See it from over
You
here.
know what I'm saying? I don't know what was that. I don't know what the heck that was. But we love y'all. We see y'all later. We ill.